A video surfaced on September 3rd showing frustrated exhibitors at a trade fair shouting for refunds, while staff stood silently with strained expressions in an awkward and tense atmosphere. This event was the 18th, the Shanxi Taiyuan International Fertilizer and Agriculture Industry Exhibition, an international high-end industry fair. According to the convention and exhibition website, exhibitors came from 13 countries and regions. Domestic companies made up 76% of the total, while foreign companies accounted for 24%. The exhibition space spanned 30,000 square meters. The event was scheduled from August 30th to September 1st and was promoted as a long-established fair with a large buyer turnout and plenty of business opportunities. However, many exhibitors were puzzled. Most visitors were elderly, many in their 60s and 70s. These seniors walked leisurely around the venue, showing little interest in the high-tech displays. Instead, they gathered in corners, chatting with each other. Around lunchtime, a commotion broke out. Several staff members were surrounded by a group of elderly men and women who were visibly upset and making loud complaints. An exhibitor approached and found out that these elderly visitors were demanding lunch. It turned out that the event organizers had hired the elderly attendees for 20 yuan per person to boost the crowd size. They had been promised lunch along with the payment, but when lunchtime came, the organizers went back on their word, offering only the 20 yuan and no meal. This angered the group of seniors. One exhibitor from Shandong said the organizers only cared about collecting booth fees. They didn't promote the event at all. On the opening day, they paid a group of seniors 20 yuan each to fill the venue. They had spent around 25,000 yuan on a booth and nearly 50,000 yuan overall, including transport and labor cost for their agriculture machinery. It wasn't until the seniors protested over the lunch issue that exhibitors learned the truth. The 3-day expo ended early and exhibitors were demanding refunds, but the issue hasn't been resolved. One exhibitor vented in a video taken at the scene. Why do the organizers bus in elderly people in their 70s and 80s? It's insulting to our intelligence. By the second day, no one had shown up. He believes the organizers failed to promote the event properly and accused them of trying to scam the exhibitors. The event organizer, Shanxi Modern Agriculture Exhibition Service, responded to Chinese media on September 4th. They claimed the complaints from some exhibitors about poor sales were unfounded and said they would defend their reputation through legal means. In another video, the Xintai Autos Part Fair in Hebei was exposed as a similar fiasco. It was reported that foreigners had been hired for 500 yuan a day with meals and accommodations included. A social media commentator noted, "These expos are all run by advertising companies. If no one shows up, how can they trick exhibitors into paying for booths?" Booths typically cost tens of thousands, while large ones can reach hundreds of thousands, even millions. An expo can easily bring in tens or hundreds of millions from booth sales. But if the venue looks empty, they won't be able to fool anyone next year. Competition is fierce now, and everyone is fighting for foreign trade. Hiring foreigners to pose as attendees is a desperate move for the exhibitors. Another commentator added, even the roles of shills have evolved. Locals aren't good enough anymore, imported ones are better. Today, at a local market, I saw something similar. It seemed normal at first, a vendor with 2 customers, but when the man in black returned after finishing his purchase, I realized the 2 people were actually shrills. The term tour means shills is a familiar term in China. It originated in Beijing slang during the early 1990s. Initially, it referred to people hired by stores or street vendors to pretend to be customers, faking interest to entice real buyers. The type of product determined the name. Those promoting fabrics were called fabric shills, while shoe sellers used shoe shills. Over time, shills appeared in various industries: education shills, car shills, bar shills, even real estate shills, who lined up to create the illusion of a booming property market. On September 7th, Chinese media reported the frequent appearance of medical shills in hospitals across China, deceiving many patients. A Xinjiang resident, Miss Chan, reported that in June of this year she visited a top-tier hospital in Urumqi for gynecological issues. While waiting, a woman approached her and struck up a conversation. Miss Chen said she first complimented my appearance to get close to me. Then she mentioned she had experienced the same symptoms and hadn't improved after multiple hospital visits, but was finally cured at a certain clinic. Soon after, another woman sitting nearby joined the conversation. She also urged Miss Chen to seek treatment at that different clinic, claiming that after 2 visits to the same hospital, she saw no improvement and even gained weight from the medication. Persuaded by the two women, Miss Chan went to the recommended clinic. There, she underwent several tests and was prescribed 3 days' worth of medicine. When it came time to pay, the bill was a staggering 3,000 yuan. Back home, Miss Chan began to feel something was off. After doing some research and talking with family and friends, she realized the medication she purchased was far more expensive than the market price. That's when she realized the two friendly women were actually medical shills. In Shanghai, medical shills operate in groups. Mainland media reported that in just 4 months last year, over 1,800 people were scammed, with losses exceeding 7 million yuan. One victim, Mr. Zhao, shared his story. In May last year, he accompanied his mother to a top-tier hospital in Shanghai for stomach issues. While waiting for their appointment, a man approached him, claiming he too had suffered from stomach problems. He said he was cured by an expert at the same hospital, though the doctor had since retired and was now working at a traditional Chinese medical clinic. Just then, a woman joined the conversation, saying that she had overheard the man and wanted to see the expert herself. She invited Mr. Zhao and his mother to join her. Out of curiosity, Mr. Zhao and his mother went to the clinic. After registering, a white-haired doctor in a lab coat examined his mother and wrote a prescription. An assistant detailed the treatment plan to the prescription. When it came time to settle the bill, Mr. Zhao was shocked to find that the total, including consultation and medication, amounted to 8,303 yuan. Realizing they had likely been scammed, Mr. Zhao reported the incident to the police. He later found out that several others had fallen victim to the same scam. In July last year, police arrested a group of 35 medical shills targeting patients at multiple hospitals in Shanghai. The group was well organized, with each member assigned a specific role. The ringleaders operated several so-called traditional Chinese medicine clinics in Shanghai, where they tricked patients into buying overpriced herbal medicines from fake specialists. To deceive patients, these fake clinics were linked to legitimate traditional medicine clinics. They rented spaces in real clinics, setting up reception desks, registration areas, and consultation rooms. They even had licensed staff pretending to be skilled, retired doctors. This setup made the scam harder to detect. Many patients unknowingly walked into these fake clinics thinking they are part of a legitimate operation. To lure the patients, dozens of medical shills from the group waited in the lobbies of major hospitals in Shanghai. Some would strike up conversations while others pretended to be patients and offered to go with the victims to the fake clinics. To avoid suspicion, the medical shills went through the entire process themselves, registering, seeing the doctor, getting prescriptions, and paying for medicine. After the patients paid, the shills received 55% of the cost as a commission. If a patient returned for more treatment, the shills earned even more. The prescription given to the victims had no real medical benefit. Experts in traditional medicine revealed that these prescriptions were vague about dosage and preparation. The ingredients were poor quality and not enough in quantity. In fact, using these medicines could be harmful. The ideal of shills is a common social phenomenon in China. It's everywhere, even in e-commerce. In traditional Chinese comedy, there are two roles, the lead comedian and the psychic assistant. The psychic plays a supporting role, helping the lead transition to the next joke. The live stream sells while hosts push products. You can often hear the psychics shouting things like, "At the link," or "That's right." These assistants create excitement and encourage viewers to make quick purchases. Some claim that shouting just a few sentences in a live stream can earn them up to 8,000 yuan a month. Industry experts see the rise of e-commerce psychics as a sign of the live streaming industry's growth. Most of these assistants work behind the scenes, managing the stream, preparing equipment, and analyzing data afterwards. As competition increases, some psychics have turned to deceptive tactics. They create a false sense of urgency, pressuring consumers to buy quickly by saying things like "almost sold out" or "act fast." One insider told Chinese media that creating urgency has become a common tactic in live streaming. Typically, streams start with low profits items to attract viewers, then switch to high margin products once the numbers go up. This increases the chances of making sales. Experts explain that pressure sales in live streams often involve multiple people working together. The host repeats phrases like lowest price and limited stock to create a don't miss out atmosphere, while the psychic assistant backed them up by saying things like, is there any stock left, or almost gone. This pushes viewers to make purchases. Pressure sales tactics in live streams are now becoming more refined. Different product categories and selling points require different approaches. For low-price items, the focus is on creating an engaging atmosphere with lots of perks and quick transactions. These target price-sensitive consumers, with each item's presentation lasting no more than 3 minutes. For high-priced products, the emphasis is on value and scarcity, with less marketing and more attention to key features, pain points, and potential benefits. Professor Zhen Ning, a law expert at the Communication University of China, says the legality of pressure sales depends on the situation. If it's just creating a buying environment, it can be seen as normal marketing strategy. But if it involves false claims like fake data or hired buyers to boost sales, it then becomes a form of fraud. This violates consumers' rights to make informed decisions. Zhen also noted that traditional live stream sales rely on creating excitement. The psychic assistant adds to this excitement, pushing consumers into impulsive decisions. The language used by the host and their assistants has evolved into a well-toned script. They control the pace and ultimately pressure viewers into making a purchase. Consumers in these live streams feel bombarded with aggressive sale pitches, heightening their sense of urgency. Some extreme pressure sale tactics may already be pushing the boundaries of the law. In some cases, scammers take advantages of the consumer's small bets, big returns mindsets by bringing jade gambling to live streaming. They use props to manipulate the result, turning it into a full-blown scam. According to Chinese media reports, traditional jade trading requires experts to carefully examine the raw stones. However, in live stream sales, the scams often begin on a positive note but ends in disappointment, leaving consumers with substantial financial losses. Mr. Yang from Pudong, Shanghai is one of the victims. In a jade stone live stream, the host claimed this stone was mined from Southeast Asia and is worth thousands. But today, we're offering a discount for our viewers. Press 1 if you're interested. You won't know the value until we cut it. Yang saw others commenting one and convinced by the host and the green lights shining through the stone, he decided to buy it. Moments later, bad news arrived. The stone is worthless. This meant Yang's money was gone. In 2023, he lost nearly 120,000 yuan in similar live stream jade scams. Jade stones are covered in a weathered layer, so no one knows their quality before cutting. In the jade industry, there's a saying, one cut makes you rich, one cut makes you poor. This reflects a high risk in jade trading. A good stone can make you rich overnight, while a bad one can leave you with nothing. What victims like Mr. Yang didn't know was that these so-called jade stones were artificially made. Whether the stone revealed valuable green jade, signaling profit, or worthless material, signaling a loss, had nothing to do with luck. The outcomes was entirely controlled by the host. When victims first entered the live stream, most were just observing to see if others made money. The host, along with their shills, staged scenes where they appeared to cut open valuable stones and share profits, encouraging more viewers to participate. The scam group also used fake transaction records to make the live stream seem credible. Once a victim takes the bait, the host slowly tightens the trap. Initially, the victim is allowed to win small sums, but when they make a purchase on their own, it's inevitable leads to a loss. Chinese media reported that this live stream jade scam involved millions of yuan. The use of shills in scams has become widespread in China. Alibaba's Jack Ma once famously said, "The fake products today, they make better quality, better prices than the real names." China has become a society rife with scams and mutual harm, where trust between people has eroded. This issue is closely linked to the CCP system, where prioritizing official interest has allowed a culture of widespread fraud to thrive.